Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. It's July the 9th, 2020. It's another Technical Alpha podcast. Hope you are all doing well and are healthy and happy as much as humanly possible in the midst of Satan's post-Taco Bell shit stain that is this entire year. I'm looking across at my screen at a very much shorter-haired Maximus Black.
Hey.
What's going on? How you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. Finally shaved my head. I just buzzed it this morning. I was getting tired of looking at it. It was getting pretty stupid.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I was starting to. It was starting to grow on me.
Starting to grow. Hey,
starting to grow.
I didn't mind it. It was just the color was getting all crazy. I think I'm gonna grow my hair out again.
Just no color.
Just no color, and you know, I might like trim it up a little bit to kind of get an actual look going. But yeah, and it's summertime, so it's just fucking hot, and with all the hair, I don't
have that problem anymore. My hair is so thin now that it's fresh to death all the time. Breeze goes by, it's just straight through, not a problem. Fucking, I'm gonna be aerodynamic soon. I'm not even gonna need a helmet. It's gonna be glorious.
I'm having a beer.
I see that. What kind? Not that we're sponsored, but what are we rocking today?
It's just a Coors Light. It's all I have in my fridge. It's nothing. Nothing great.
Is that the special one where the mountains get blue?
It gets blue. Let you know it's cold. It's optimum drinking.
I remember when I first saw the commercial for that, and I was like, "That might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen." As if, because I'm trying to think of their market, right? Or like almost any beer drinker. Like, can you imagine the market that drinks Coors Light going, man, I need to know if my beer is an optimum drinking temperature.
No.
Nobody drinking Coors Light is wondering that question. They'll drink that shit piss warm. As long as it's beer. That's all that matters at that point.
Yep.
Beard's looking thick. I haven't shaved and I actually don't know. I don't know the last time I trimmed it up. I should probably do that, especially since Saturday we're going. It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday is a combo birthday of M and one of her friends as well. They have a birthday close enough that they little combo, and thankfully, Space Godzilla has been minimized here to the point where you can have 10 people without worrying about social distancing and all that shit. So we'll take advantage of that while it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Go and have that little soiree. But this week got another great show lined up for you as always. You'll never hear any different from me. But before we jump into all the gaming stuff, I need to hear Jeff say it's been just another week. Mr. Black, how was your week?
It's just another week. It's just another week. Today I went out and got Kai a new pair of sneakers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, he outgrew his last one, so his last pair, so went out and got him a new pair. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Our pool is finally like swimmable.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's a little cold right now, so we have like the top off to have the sun kind of heat it up. We have a heater for it, but it seems like a waste to just burn a bunch of power heating a pool when it's hot.
It's the summertime.
It's the summertime. So if you can jump in a lake,
you can sure shit jump in a swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another week for me as well this week. Nothing crazy. Started playing Need for Speed Heat.
I saw that.
Is the current review title for me while I wait for bigger and better things to come along. You know, so far it's a Need for Speed game.
Yeah, I watched you play it, I think yesterday actually, for a little bit, probably like 15-20 minutes. and I just saw you like ramming a cop car over and over and over again.
Yeah, that was, I had to disable the cop car, and once he was disabled, I took full advantage to continue beating up his car for a bit.
I saw that.
And then the game crashed to desktop.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That game looks uber generic, really bland and boring. And, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like when you go and play a game that you liked as a kid, and then you go back and you play it now, and you realize it's not a very good game. It's pretty much like that.
It's not inaccurate. You know, the craziest thing about this game is that the voice acting is better in this game than any AAA game I've played in probably the last 5 years.
Damn.
It's actually so good that it stands out like a sore thumb. Like you forget, you're like, I'm playing a Need for Speed game. Why do they have these voice actors fully suited up? Like, you can tell they did the full suit up, so they did mocap and acted it all out. This wasn't a booth. They did the full mocap for these scenes for sure. And if not, then the animators are also gods and should probably work on another fucking game. But that's the standout. Doesn't make any sense to me. Is the voice acting is by far the standout in that game. Graphically, it looks good. It's not ugly. It's not great. There's a lot of texture pop in. If you like look behind you, you know, rear view mirror look, and then look forward, just doing that, you'll see the shit pop back in every time. It's just like pop in all over the place. Optimized like shit. I can't get it, even on medium settings, to run above like 80 frames, 90 frames on a 2080 Ti. So,
Rip.
Not the most optimized game in the world either. And then the driving, which is, in a Need for Speed game, I don't know if you know this, an integral part of a Need for Speed game would be the driving experience. The driving experience is universally shite. Where they decided that their arcadey version was, as soon as you go into any corner, you double tap the gas, almost like you're playing Cruisin' USA at the movie theater. You know, you can double tap it, you like do a little kickstand type.
Whoa.
Yeah, like that, except instead of doing that, you do a drift. And so, and that's how you keep your speed around corners in the game. The problem with that is that there are lots of corners where drifting around them is not a good idea. You get this tiny little space, you're trying to drift an entire fucking car, it's not good. You want to slow down, slow in fast out of a corner, you want to treat it like a track race. You can't do that because your car will inevitably go sideways like every fucking time. You can't feather the gas, you can't feather the brake, so it's pretty shit. And then all the cars end up handling almost exactly the same. Whether I was my first car was a Nissan 180SX, drove almost identically to my now fully souped up Lotus Elise, which is like basically a GT race version of the Lotus Elise at this point, which you couldn't get any polar fucking opposite than a 180SX and a track Exige, or Exige. So fucking weird. Anyway, it's not the worst racing game I've played, but it's also not the best. And once you've played Forza Horizon 4, which this game tries to borrow and fails, but tries to borrow a lot from, you're fucked. You're pretty fucked. So other than that, that was about it. I've just been playing that and doing some stuff around the house, you know, family stuff. Emma's getting really close to her exam time, so we're just kind of reviewing, you know, all of her shit, her RN test and whatnot. So that's been a thing, and that's been it. Otherwise, that's... Oh! We had sushi.
Ooh.
We stopped in and we had takeout, because we didn't know it was open, for sitting down, but we had some sushi. It was fucking delicious. First sushi of like 3 months.
Yes.
Was incredible.
Yep.
Fucking incredible. And I'm gonna definitely, before everyone ruins this nice little lull we have right now, definitely gonna have to go back a couple more times.
Hell yeah.
And get in on that action.
Get it in now while you can. Get out and get shit done.
That's right. So let's talk about some video game news, Jeff. The first thing, right off the rip. Yesterday, I turn on Twitter, which is more and more rare for me these days because, holy shit. But one of the first things I see, Ninja with no contract. streaming on YouTube. Played some Fortnite with Tim the Tat Man, and what's his name from 100 Thieves, Jack, and Dr. Lupo, I think. Stream there. First thing I want to do, obviously, want to see what are the view numbers like for an off-contract, off-the-cuff, 1 hour lead time ninja streaming. Over 100,000 people is the answer to that question. What do you think his play was there? Was his play with no contract to just, because he only did, it was like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yep.
Was this Ninja go, this is my because this is my thought. This was Ninja going on YouTube from to test the waters himself, see what he's going to get. And 2, if he blows it out of the park like he obviously just did, if he goes to YouTube and says, hey, my first stream with almost no lead up and it was only an hour and a half, like 3 million views, what are we talking right now? What do you think his ploy was, doing a super short stream, drinking what looked to be fucking champagne, playing Fortnite on YouTube?
Yeah. I think it's just that. I think he, for one, I think he's probably going a little stir crazy, and he's probably bored, because he hasn't streamed in a while. And I can tell you from a streaming standpoint, if you don't stream for like 2-3 days, you feel it. For him, it's been longer than that. It's been quite some time now. And I'm sure he's shopping around. My guess is it was a two-way thing. It was him seeing how well he can do personally, and then also him using that as data to give to YouTube. It might have even have gone as far as YouTube requesting that he do a live stream in negotiations so that they could see the type of numbers he can really bring in. Because my guess is they're already in conversations now.
Oh, 100%.
They're I mean, even before he went live, guaranteed his agents are already talking with YouTube and working out a deal. And this might have actually just been part of getting to the finish line, where it's like, hey, we want to see what kind of numbers you can really you can do. Now, obviously, Ninja did the right thing, because if he wants to pop his numbers, he gets guys like Tim, guys like Courage and Lupo to collaborate, stream with him at the same time. So that way they're also promoting him while he's in this hour. I also believe that's why he only did an hour and some change and not 3, 4, 6 hours, because that'll lower his average view count down. So it's better to just get a nice little screenshot, especially after the hype. YouTube's probably going to know that it is some artificial hype when things do die down. I mean, I think he peaked at almost 200,000 viewers at one point. My guess is probably for the first week or so, it will be around 100,000, and then it'll probably dwindle down to around 30 to 50,000 concurrent. The reality is all of his subscribers are on YouTube, and it's a way better play, in my opinion, for him to sign with YouTube than to go back with Twitch if he has a problem with Twitch in any way. Like, they already, there's been some butting of the heads publicly. I don't know where they stand. Obviously, big money can, you can work around those. Business is business. But ultimately, I think this was a test. I think it was a very successful test. And I don't think we're going to see him stream again until he announces that he's with YouTube. If he does stream again, it'll probably be another very short stream, and that'll be the show. I don't think you'll see him grind an 8-10 hour stream until he is under contract with some sort of streaming service. So I think you hit it on the head. Yeah. It was a test. I think it's just it's a play.
Well, we'll wait and see. I don't think we're going to have to wait very long. I suspect this is going to be tied up within the next week or so. Yeah. And we'll have some sort of announcement video thing or whatever the fuck Shit, at this point, it might not even be a video. He might just go on Twitter and be like,
I'm on.
I'm team YouTube.
I mean, Courage is already part of YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he was there. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be for big money.
Yeah. Do you think it will be as big? I don't think it will be as big as Mixer's pay, but I think it will be for a lot of money.
It's hard to say, because the reason I would say it would be the same is because he's pulling. He can go, listen, YouTube, they paid me $30 million for a 2-year contract. I was getting concurrent 5,000 to 7,000 viewers, right? And that's a good day for Ninja on Mixer. I'm coming over to YouTube, where I already have millions of subscribers. You guys need streamers, and I am literally bringing in 20 times the amount of viewership of what I did from Mixer to here. So why would I take less than what I took over there? I said no to Facebook for 60 million. Why would I say yes to you for 10 or for 15? Unless there's such a big upside on the back end where where his CPM rates are like top CPM rates. They can give him like full $5 for the subscription, the paid subscription. I have no idea, but something tells me it'll be the same as before. And if it's less, I think it's going to be his requirements will be less, simply from the amount of numbers he brings in. And it might actually be, this is how much content we need you to provide on your channel in the run of a month, opposed to, we need you to stream 40 hours a week for 2 years. That's the only way I see him taking less money at this point, is just a less load. And yeah, because if not, 20 times, even 10 times the viewership, you want to go down to that between 30 and 50,000 concurrent. Still 10 times more than what he was getting over at Mixer.
Yeah, so how I look at it and why I think it's not going to be as much, at least in cash, is that the numbers meant more to Mixer than the numbers mean to YouTube. As nice as it would be for YouTube to lock up Ninja for their streaming platform, YouTube, with or without Ninja, perfectly fine. YouTube is making so much fucking money right now, especially since they've doubled and tripled down on their ads now. Mid-roll ads are getting changed. There's a lot of shit going on, and creators are getting paid less on ads. So YouTube is making just ass loads of money right now. Would it be nice? Yes. Do they need him? No. The fact that he turned Facebook down for 60 million, I think, is also a flag, as much of a flag to YouTube that it may be about money for him as much as it's not only about money. I think that they know that if he went to YouTube, even if it's $60 million, I think that they know that to Ninja's brand means a lot to him, and going to Facebook would have fucking nuked that. It wasn't going to kill him. It was going to nuke that brand from orbit. Facebook is where you go to die. You take your bag, you go home, and you don't get more bags. You get one bag.
Streaming-wise, but he still would have been very relevant on YouTube, right?
Yes.
YouTube wouldn't have been affected.
Yes, no, absolutely.
And he gets big numbers on YouTube.
Yes.
Huge numbers. And 100%, think about it.
100%.
If he signs a deal with Mixer for $30 million, the problem is Mixer is never getting their money back. They lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
YouTube pays Ninja $30 million.
Yeah.
They get that money back. It's already proven. He already brings it in.
Yep.
That one stream, 2.8 million views on one stream. You know what I mean? I had a video on my personal YouTube channel that had 1 million views. I got $8,000 in revenue from that.
Yeah.
If Ninja's streaming 5 days a week and they're getting a million views a pop, I mean, just the revenue alone off ads is ridiculous. And then not only that, him having people on the stream all the time is going to have him have them watch more of his YouTube videos and so on and so forth. So, and not only that, YouTube, believe it or not, is a really great place for sponsorships. A lot of companies, they're getting onto Twitch now, and it's becoming a thing. But
YouTube has always been the king of sponsorship deals.
I find sponsors are way more willing to dump big money on a YouTube video than what they are on Twitch.
They value curated video a lot more than live video.
A lot more than live. Yes. I'm not saying you can't get paid good money on Twitch, because trust me, you can.
You can, yeah.
But the YouTube money for some of the ads, just because they have an old way of thinking, they got old media. It's YouTube is sort of that hybrid of mix between new and old, where the old can kind of see it. It's there. It's VODed. They can watch it. People that miss it can watch it. So yeah, YouTube gets. I actually believe that if YouTube paid Ninja $60 million, which would not happen, I'm thinking it'll be another $30 million deal. Even if they paid him $60 million for 2 years, I think YouTube makes all that money back. I think it's a good investment.
I would say. So I would say that if he gets $30 million again, that it will be more performance based than raw cash. Yeah, like Mixer would have been raw cash, pretty much. I think that if he signs a deal for $30 million to match his Mixer deal, that it's going to be more tied to, like, we're going to give you a higher rate on your subs. We're going to give you and tie it so that whatever he does, he can make the money up to a cap of whatever, but he has to. Whatever he does, it will end up being as beneficial or more so for YouTube to do it. It's like offering a CEO shares in the company. You want the shares to be valuable, so it incentivizes them to do good work to create that environment. So I think it would be closer to that than just what he got at Mixer, which was just a raw dog, fucking fat stack of money. And said stream 6 hours, a day or some shit, like whatever the fuck it was, 5 days a week. So, yeah, and then I could see that for sure. But if it was just raw cash, I would be surprised if it was that big of an investment for YouTube. I think Twitch would have to pay more in cash than YouTube would have to pay in cash. Just because of their relationship that you talked about earlier, being the way that it is. But
dude, Ninja, I think Ninja just does better on YouTube.
I do too, which is why when Mixer went down, I said I still think he's going to end up on YouTube. It's the place where he makes the most money. He's already got a massive. He's got and Shroud on Twitch. He's got a massive following on YouTube already. It's a younger market on YouTube. That's where all the fucking highlights of every fucking Fortnite thing is. You go to YouTube. That is his market, and so. For him, it makes perfect sense to just go to YouTube now. Put up with the fact that YouTube's back end for streaming is unadulterated bullshit, awful. Besides that, he makes way more money on YouTube. And I think that's where he's going to inevitably go, regardless of the deal. He could get paid, like, it could get to the point where Twitch doesn't want to pay him to come back. It's like, you want to come back here to Twitch? You come here on your own accord. We'll give you your fucking sponsor. We'll give you your partnership obviously back and your rates, and you're just off. But we're not paying you cash. YouTube could say the same thing. I still think he goes to YouTube at the end of the day.
100%, dude.
Yeah. Next up, we have Evo 2020 is fully canceled now. So it was on the rocks, up and down for a bit as the game companies were pulling out of the event one after the other. So it was Capcom pulled out, Bandai Namco, NetherRealms pulled out. That's pretty much they're all the flagship fighters gone right off the rip. You're talking about Street Fighter and you're talking about Mortal Kombat and shit. That they were already in rocky situations. That was all after the CEO was allegedly had been exposed to have sexual abuse. It's another one of the things that we're seeing everywhere else. This happened to come out here for Evo. The guy was saying nothing. And to my knowledge, I still think he hasn't said anything. Just been buttoned up. He's gone. CEO of Evo is gone now. But Evo is canceled. They can't fucking resurrect it. Maybe they come up with a way of doing it later on. I don't fucking know. But for now, it's gone. Yeah. Oh, he admitted to it pretty much? Okay. I didn't see that, so I never want to say outright if I haven't seen it personally, but if he did, then if that is the case, well, there you go. And it would explain why he was removed as the CEO and replaced by somebody else. So that event is done. So no Evo for this year. You're gonna have to get your fighting game fix somewhere else. Which the fighting game community in general, especially the Smash community, is just a 5-alarm fucking fire right now, which I forgot to put in here. And so I will shoehorn that in by saying, holy fuck, Sky Williams, what? Did you see any of this shit, bro?
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit on Twitter. I haven't. I know that he allegedly. I don't even know if it's allegedly at this point.
Bro, I will be fully confident in saying that the majority of this shit ain't fucking allegedly. People don't just come out and be like, this motherfucker owes me $55,000. You don't just throw that shit around. And apparently, according to that guy, he owes somebody else individually even more than him. And those are just 2 cases. Somebody did a running total, and if all of them haven't been paid off as of yet, which they all said they haven't been, then he's north of 300 grand in a 5-year period. Running the Sky mansions and shit, the Sky houses and all that stuff. And then all of the weird fucking, like, power dynamic shit and weird kind of situations happening in these houses that he says he's never around at the houses, so he's, like, trying to separate himself entirely from all these issues. Just a fucking rabbit hole, bro. And then I had people message me from my community who are part of the fighting community and the Smash community specifically, who were like, yeah, he's an asshole. Everyone, like the old guard Smash players have all known this forever.
Bro, I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I actually
did you have a run-in with Sky?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Spill the beans.
I'll be general because it's been so long now from the specifics. Actually, I'm sure if I
look hard enough.
I know. I'm sure if I opened up my Skype and I went and I go and I look at the history, assuming it's still there. Let me see. It might have been on my other account. I still actually do have him on here, but I can't. So anyway, I can confirm. The guy's a dick. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that from.
You don't say that lately. Something has to happen
from my own experience with him. Remember when I used to play League of Legends? So I got into League of Legends.
Yeah, he was big in the League community for a short while. Yeah.
At the time, he was relatively known in the League community. I didn't really know too much about the guy, but found out about his stream, tuned in a couple of times, watched a couple of his YouTube videos. This is when I was just getting into League of Legends. So I ended up getting invited to go out to I forget what it's called now, but remember when I went out to Germany? I flew out to Germany and I did a League of Legends.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
basically a taping. It was like a TV show almost. But
yeah.
They flew myself and a whole bunch of people, Phantom and Dingle and who else was there? Man, a whole bunch of people flew us out there. And I got it through somebody, but Sky, for whatever reason, and once again, I'm being a little cloudy on all the very specifics, and it's not all that important, but essentially Sky had reached out to me. He added me on Skype, and he basically presented this as an opportunity for me to go. Now, I don't know if he was in charge or part of this whole campaign or whatever. That I don't know. But I was supposed to be paid, I do believe $1,200, which was basically covering my 4 days of streaming. Essentially, when I had worked out
your day rate,
hey, I'm gonna it's like $300 for my day rate. I'm gonna miss out like $300 a day. That's what I wanted to get reimbursed. Plus, they were paying for the hotel and the flight. So it was fine. I went out to that place. I did the show. It was fun. I had a good time. Everybody treated me very, very well. Sky wasn't there or anything. But anyway, when I came back and stuff, and once again, the details, obviously details are important, so that's why I'm not really going into. I'd have to dig up old shit, and it's really not all that important. Basically, what I'm saying is, ever since then, Sky almost tried to take ownership of my success. He almost tried to control, in a way, what I was doing, without really flat out just saying it. I remember him vaguely saying, like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you're at, or you wouldn't. I remember it just came off very like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I've been doing this a long ass time. He was dropping N-bombs and things like that, and it's like, he's a black guy, I'm a black guy, but it was just like, I don't really know you like that, and it was very, he was just a fucking dick. That's what I remember of him, and I remember I had gotten attitude with him about the way he was talking to me and things like that. And essentially we just never spoke again. He like unfollowed me on everything. He basically like, once he realized, he wasn't able to control me, or like, or his impression. Like I don't remember the details, because once again, this happened like it was back in 2014, right? So 6 years ago. But essentially, he was just a prick. He was just an asshole in almost every conceivable way. Really nice up front, like, oh man, this guy is like really kind. He's got my back. He's he's saying the right things, and then it just on a dime. Like, I mean, like, dude went from super nice to dick very, very quickly. And that was basically my experience with him. And I remember we had a big chat on Skype. And then never spoke to each other ever again after that. So yeah, that was my experience with him.
That lines up pretty much with what I was reading and was told in DMs and shit. It pretty much lines up with that. Is that he's a class A manipulator. And so what it sounds like there is that as soon as he immediately tried to take ownership of your success. That's him
to some degree. I don't want to make it seem.
But within the league space, like that part, you being at Gamescom or whatever it was that you were at, like that.
I forget the name of the event. I don't think it was Gamescom.
Trying to take that little bit of that there is him trying to get a foot in the door.
Yeah,
and then he's testing the water. Exactly. We're seeing, how does this person respond to this? Do they respond meekly? If they respond meekly, I can push the issue a bit more. I can then see what I can get out of this person to further myself, is what he's testing the waters for.
I didn't even get paid, bro. They never paid me, ever. They went under or some shit. And I don't know if nobody got paid, but I most certainly didn't get paid. I tried to get paid for like 3-4 months. Basically it was just like a free trip to Germany for 2 days. Well, it was a good time, and I got to go to Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the craziest allegation, which I'm going to go with it actually happened, was the $55,000 event there, where apparently this was, they had he had like briefly known Sky before from the community, and I'm trying to like how to like make this shorter. So in any case, Sky and this guy's mom were getting along well. Like they were, because they were around a lot together, and they were playing games competitively and whatnot. And then at some point, this gentleman's mother passes away from, I think it was breast cancer, I want to say. Like, she had fought it for like many years, eventually, unfortunately, succumbed to breast cancer. Sky was obviously very much well aware of this fact. And then, and he was aware of the fact that this guy and his family were relatively financially well-to-do. And so he then comes to this guy, from what it sounds like, around it sounds like, when the Sky went from being like like he was on Twitter a lot. He was like making a lot of content, whatever. And then he just like went fucking AWOL. It was like he just disappeared. I don't even remember the catalyst for that, but it sounds like it happened around this time or close to it. Anyway, comes this guy, says, bro, I'm in deep. I owe the IRS a lot of money. If I can't pay them off, then my whole career is done. This is done and gone and over. And then he doubles up on it and says, the reason why is because I've been paying for my dad's cancer treatments. And obviously to a guy who within the last like year or so just lost his mother to cancer, who had also been helping with her payments to do that shit, that's going to strike a chord with him, and he's relatively in on in like a relatively friendly place with Sky, says okay, lends him the $55,000 with the understanding that he was going to start paying back a certain amount every month, etc., after a grace period for him to get himself under all, his feet underneath of him, start making content again, and then pay this guy back. As it turns out, so that money never got back to him. Not even like a cent, apparently, of that. And then it was something about Sky like said that his dad, and chat can correct me, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Sky said that his dad lied to him about having cancer and used the money for a penis surgery.
What?
If I'm not mistaken. And chat can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that was the story.
Story just got weird, bro.
What?
Penis surgery.
Yes.
Oof.
And so basically,
I mean, you could have said he lied, and then he went and bought a car.
The fact that he said that his dad used it for penis surgery tells me he's just fucking. But his dad never had cancer. Yeah. So Sky's dad never had cancer. Then Sky claimed his dad lied about cancer, and they used the money for penis surgery. Yeah, there it is.
What kind of penis surgery? Is he getting an enlargement, or was
I guess I don't fucking know.
Or was he getting it smaller because it's too large?
Dude, I want to let you know right now that penis surgery never happened, and he used that 55 grand for one of his many fucking McMansions that he ran, the Sky Mansions, the Sky Houses, where all the rest of this shit that, in terms of like power dynamics and like a lot of allegations coming out there.
Yeah,
and so
I mean, listen, I don't know the dude very well. I only can go by the.
Yeah, we only go by what's been coming out.
Yeah, and my experience with them, it felt a little manipulative.
Yeah.
Was it anything crazy? No, it was just like.
But I personally think it only didn't get crazy because you stifled him right off the bat. If you had been meek about it, and when he's poking and prodding and testing.
Maybe.
Then he goes in it. But that's what the majority of these cases are, is him manipulating people, taking money from them, saying, whatever. And then even with people that live in the same houses in one of his own houses, just like making it about him and then shaming the other person and like making it like this big fucking deal. So he came out and tried to have a stream about this here a couple days ago or some shit, which he talked about a lot of this and then monetized it in the whole 9 yards. And then eventually the stream got cut off because one of his roommates got tired of hearing him spout bullshit and pulled the plug on the router. And then
here's my word of advice for all these people that are getting accused of a lot of things, and chances are you've done some shit and you're trying to like save face.
Yeah.
Stop streaming. Don't stream, because what you're doing is you're making it worse. Honestly, you're making it worse. Don't stream. All right. You need to either think of a well thought out tweet longer and write something up that you can read over 4 or 5 times. Make sure it's spelled correctly. The grammar's good. You've conducted yourself, because you go on stream and you're dealing with a whole bunch of people that are there to watch you fucking crumble and fall, and they're poking the bear the whole time, and you're reading comments and you start getting comfortable and you start saying stupid stuff. stop. Don't live stream.
So even
it's not worth it.
Even better, people asked for a twit longer. He decided to stream, and then to further make it worse, Jeff, despite monetizing it and doing all that shit, he outed a bunch of victims who weren't even ready to tell their story yet.
Yeah, just don't do any. That's because don't go live. Don't do that. All right. I mean, listen, I'm not here to throw shade at Sky. I mean, I there's so much fucking drama going on. I'm just so tired of hearing all of it. It's just like, it's exhausting.
It is.
It's exhausting. You know what, dude? Sky isn't the only dick I've ran into in streaming. No. I've ran into dozens of assholes. I've ran into them at Twitch cons and PAX. There's tons of people that are pricks. It doesn't mean that I need to, that everybody, like, not everybody's nice. Not everybody, everybody.
Well, there's a difference between being an asshole and then taking what is allegedly north of $300,000 in 5 years, paying nobody back, facilitating grooming and sexual shit with underage children in fucking mansions and shit. There's a line between asshole and full-blown fucking narcissistic, manipulative fucking cunt, which is essentially what Sky Williams is. There's a reason why he disappeared off the face of the earth, stopped making content. It's because he's been borrowing money and paying for all of his fucking housemates, sushi runs and shit, and borrowing money end on end, going to Vegas, spending it all, and being a genuine asshole is what Sky Williams is. The fact that he went out and tried to drop that his dad lied to him about cancer to a guy who just watched his mother die to cancer to take $55,000 and say it's about penis surgery? Come the fuck on. If you're gonna lie, at least make it a good lie, for fuck's sake. No dad is out there fucking lying about cancer for dick surgery. Come the fuck on. I
ain't trying to lose any inches.
No.
And I ain't trying to lose nothing. You ain't taking no inches from me.
Come on, bro. Fucking come on. And then you go out on stream after Twit Longer wins the poll just to be contrarian, and then you fucking run your mouth and spout bullshit, and then you out a bunch of fucking sexual abuse victims who aren't ready to tell their story, and then monetize it? Go fuck yourself. Preferably with perhaps the post-penis surgery that you're so dedicated to telling everyone happened. The hell is wrong with you?
Oh, man. Adam's on one.
Ubisoft. I'm on one. Sky's on 90. Ubisoft getting rocked by many allegations of horrible anti-female misconduct that has led to Maxine Bellin. More of it.
Every week.
Well, here's the thing. That's one of Ubisoft's co-founders.
Oh, great. I mean, we can't escape this. It's been like 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row.
It ain't gonna stop anytime soon. So he's resigned now after reports he choked a female employee at a work party.
Yikes.
Fuck. So there you go. So Ubisoft now is taking some precautions. But Ubisoft, outside of streaming and whatnot, Ubisoft has had, like, as to my knowledge, the most reports by their own people internally to the company about horrible fucking cultural issues within the company with the men and the women. And then, as you find out, apparently the co-founder strangles a co-worker at a work party, and now he's gone. So I'm gonna go with, that probably happened.
And he's gone.
And he's gone.
And he ain't coming back.
And he's definitely not coming back.
But he made his bagillion dollars, so.
He did. He made several dollars.
Early retirement. Please tell me good news is coming up next. I need some good news in my life.
All right. PlayStation removes all ads from Facebook and Instagram in support of the Stop Hate for Profit movement, whereby Facebook as a company has been profiting off of hateful advertisements for God knows how long.
Okay, that's some decent news.
Some good news. Fuck Facebook, by the way. And Mark Zuckerberg can Mark Zuckerberg my dick. PlayStation doing that, and then we got Call of Duty removes the OK gesture, the OK hand gesture from Modern Warfare and Warzone for unspecified reasons, which I'm going to say the unspecified reasons are, it has to do with the fact that the OK sign has been co-opted after it got memed into cultural, into being a cultural thing about white power symbols.
I've never seen that.
That's a thing.
Doing the
yes,
the okay sign?
white power. It's like, you remember when Pepe got memed into being a racist symbol?
No.
The frog, the Pepe the frog. Remember when that was a thing that like started up a couple years ago, and then that was like, it became like white power people were like wearing fucking because basically 4chan runs the world if you're stupid enough to buy into all that shit. So 4chan sparked that. 4chan sparking the okay hand gesture thing. And now, there you go.
Okay.
It's just like when 4chan made Oprah say, we have, 30,000 dicks and we're, like, people need to be, there's some people that don't know about the internet. The hand sign literally makes a P and a W, so white power. Ah, I see. Also, the O and the K that's been used in military for ages and ages and other places, but now, fuck me.
Okay.
If I hold my dick the wrong way, it forms a W and a P. Does that mean that I'm telling my fucking toilet that I'm white power every time I take a piss? Guess so.
Oh, man.
Oh, next up, we've got The Last of Us 2 voice actors. Sorry, dude, more bad news. Last of Us 2 voice actors getting a lot of unbelievable amounts of hate for their performances, specifically Laura Bailey, who has posted on Twitter about, dude, it's bad. People have we've seen this in movies as well. People have, and by people, I mean people who have a hard time tying shoes, putting pants on in the morning, and remembering to breathe, have a hard time separating characters from the actors that are playing said characters, and then once more the fact that those characters are not real. Laura Bailey getting put out on Twitter said, "Man, I try to only post positive stuff on here, but sometimes this just gets a little overwhelming. I blacked out some of the words because, spoilers. Side note, thank you to all the people sending me positive messages to balance it out. It means more than I can say. Here's a nice little taste of what she's been getting a lot of. I'm gonna kill you because you blanked in the LA of The Last of Us Part 2. I'm gonna find where you live and slaughter you for what you did. Mark my fucking words. Just want to say you should die, bitch. Fuck you. You ruined it. I hope your parents die by hard cancer
Wow.
for killing my blank."
I'm reading these comments. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of some of the salty boys that I deal with in role play. That's what it is. You know what it is they cannot distinguish a character.
That's what I was just saying. That's what I was just, yes. Yeah. That is what I was saying.
It's they're why in the actual fuck? Like, just think about this for a second. At least with role play, like, I'm in control of the narrative to a degree. If there's something that I don't like.
Yeah, Laura Bailey is playing and reading a script that was given to her.
She literally auditions for a part. She is excited to get a job. She's excited to be part of a franchise that is so big. She was probably pumped for this game to finally come out and for people to enjoy it. And all she did was read a script, listen to her director, and did a fine job all at the same time. And the fuckboys are so wrapped up in the way they want the game to be.
Yeah.
That they despise a character so much that they actually have to go out of the way to follow and private message the human being that voice acted a digital character in a fucking video game. Death threats.
Bro, every one of these people, jail.
All of them. I'd put them all in prison.
All jail. That's like, I'm pretty sure there are places that uttering a threat like that to somebody is in fact a criminal offense.
Yes.
So if you're gonna like take the time to go out of your way to go to a DM and tell somebody, I will find you and I will kill your kid for what for that, just wait. Or
no,
fuck you, dumb bitch, go fuck yourself, or I'm gonna find where you live and slaughter you for what you did. No, you're in jail, you're in jail, you're getting
did? Like,
fuck
think
no.
about who was this stupid fucking moron that wrote this for what you did. Are you that fucking mental?
Yes, he is mental.
For what you did, what
no
she
other...
did? She voice acted a character, or do you think that she actually, killed somebody you like, or did something in a game that, as her character, she acted out something you didn't like?
Yeah,
you're fucking mental. The only reason why one guy apologized is because he got outed in front of fucking a bajillion people. He needs to go to jail.
You can't, you can't. You can't.
I don't care how fucking, dude, I've seen people on Game of Thrones die, and I was fucking salty. But do you think I would ever, for one, utter death threats to somebody for really any circumstance? It'd have to be it'd have to be pretty freaking serious. Or for me to even go out to the actor or actress and go out there and tell them I hate them or I want to do harm to them because the character they played killed or hurt a character that I liked.
Well,
I've gone out on podcasts, on Twitter, and I have publicly said my disdain for the writing of Star Wars, and I have directed.
There's a difference between saying "go fuck yourself" and "I'm going to find your address and slaughter you and your family."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, the line's not fine. That line is deep.
If you had a problem with the way The Last of Us 2 ended or started or wherever, take your give it a bad rating. Tell people don't play it. If you want to go even further, go to Naughty Dog, go to the writers, and say, "Listen, you ruined my favorite gaming experience." Tell them how you feel. Don't threaten them, but tell them you didn't appreciate what happened to your character. If you need to vent, maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll try and make it right. Maybe they won't. But to go after the actors and actresses, you're fucking mental.
You quite literally. I mean, I'm looking to see if they're in here.
It's just insane, dude.
Yeah, one of the people, I'm not saying it was one of the people we just read off of the list there, but one of the people that sent one of those in, they found them. And obviously, people countered that. And so they apologized and said, I just want to say and send my most sincere apologies to Laura Bailey. I'm really a fan of this game, but when it happened at the beginning, I could not control myself. My psychological state became difficult. I could not breathe. But when I played with Abby, ... And then Laura Bailey said, I can't believe this even needs to be clarified, but at no point in the game did I film any scenes with Neil. Everything I did was alongside phenomenally talented and professional actors. Play the game, give your opinions, and if you still don't like it, that's fine. Love you. And that's when they responded with, just want to say you should die, bitch. Fuck you. You ruined it. And that was the same two people. So, or slightly different people. But same idea. So, yeah, it's...
My favorite character died. I couldn't control it. I couldn't breathe.
That's not an apology.
Dude,
if you're playing a game and you can't breathe and you're having an existential crisis you need medical help.
You need a life, bro. You need to get the fuck out. You need to leave the house and just, I don't know, do anything because you're obviously mentally fucked. There's a difference between being disappointed and being heartbroken or whatever, but then out of complete rage, you're going to go out and threaten somebody's life, an actress? Are you fucking stupid? That's just insanity, dude.
That's you're into like medication and intense therapy territory.
You need help, dude.
Yeah.
You need help. You scare me because you're like the crazy dudes that they talk about in the news.
Yeah.
You know, you're like a perfect candidate. People need to watch you because you're fucking crazy. That's what it is. It's what a sin for the, like, what she got a lot more than what she's showing.
Oh,
you know?
way more.
A lot more. It's crazy, dude. It's wild.
Speaking of crazy people that are perfect for candidacy, Kanye West announced he's running for the presidency.
No.
I just had to throw that in here. It's just such hilarious news to me that I had to throw it in there.
Bro, I'd rather see Trump in office again than Kanye West. Did I actually just say that out loud?
I think you did.
I did, but you know what? I kind of mean it. Could you imagine, bro? At least people in the White House to a degree can control Trump to a degree. Kanye? Hell no.
Kanye's his own man. Trump's the kind of guy you can manipulate indirectly by playing to his ego.
Exactly.
Kanye's on the fucking moon, bro. Dude is off his meds, basically getting milked by the fucking Kardashian family for all he's worth. And that's, dude, you cannot.
Dude has literally got mental issues, bro. He's been like, he legitimately has to take medication.
I don't think he has been.
No, that's probably why he's running for presidency. I don't care how many Kardashians you have behind me. If my options are Trump or Kanye, I can't vote, but I'd be encouraging people to vote for Trump. That's how sad that is, bro. I love me some Kanye, bro. I love me some Kanye. But the Kanye is the most powerful man on the planet? What? You think his ego's big now? Oh my God. You think his ego's big now? Imagine if he's the leader of the free world. Hells to the no. To the no. I mean, at the very least, it would be entertaining as shit. I mean, it would be.
You know what? That's what people said about Trump, and as it turns out, it wasn't particularly entertaining.
No, it wasn't. It was sad. Yeah,
it's getting less and less entertaining the closer we get to the next election.
I can't. No,
he's never going to win presidency.
He's not.
Even in the sense that we said that about Trump, but he's not, because one, he didn't get himself on tickets early enough, and the only places, as far as I know, legally he can get written in are places where you can literally write in a blank who you want to vote for. The shittiest part about that is that he may take just enough votes away from the Democratic side to actually give Trump a chance in a world where it would be fucking mortifying that he could even possibly have a chance. Regardless, all I gotta say to all of my American friends, and I have many, is I am so fucking sorry. I am so sorry. And the follow-up to that is, like I said, and people hate on me for this shit, but I said it 8 years ago. America has 10 years before it's literally a fucking dumpster fire. Guess what, motherfuckers? It is the 7th, 8th, 9th circle of hell in the U.S. right now. It's a third world country parading as a first world country, and it's only getting worse. You have a president, by the way, right now, who is, whether he has the power to or not, threatening to pull funding out of schools if they don't force children to go back to school, while the coronavirus is the worst in that country versus any other country on Earth. Some people want to stay behind. I'm saying
Vision 2020, is that his thing?
I'm saying have some 2020 vision yourself and make sure it's not hindsight. The moment you can get the fuck out of the US, get the fuck out of the U.S. I got a community member, Jeff, whose family just came, who's from Vietnam originally, just came into a little bit of property. They're getting the fuck out of the moment they're going back to Vietnam to get the fuck out of the U.S. And I don't blame them. Fuck me. How come Adam never talks bad about Trudeau? Trudeau is bad. Guess what?
Bro, Trudeau looks like a saint right now.
Trudeau looks like the second coming of Jesus Christ. If you're into that shit. in comparison to what's happened. But nobody here is out here praising the Canadian government for everything it does. We have lots of problems here, but guess what? Our list of problems is like a grocery list, comparatively speaking to the Ayn Rand novel that you guys have in the fucking States. Don't fucking compare. It's just not the same thing. It's not. Better by comparison, but not good. But better by comparison. Much like almost anything other than Kanye West is better by comparison to Donald Trump.
Like, give me Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you know, throw me some Dwayne love, all right? Kanye West? Hell no. It ain't fucking happening. It ain't happening.
Bro, I'll take Betty fucking White. I'll take Betty White with Richard Simmons as the vice president.
Oh, man.
Give me that.
What else we got, Adam?
Fuck me. The Xbox Game Showcase now has a firm date of July 23rd, which is, as you would imagine, a Thursday. Now, thankfully, it's earlier in the day, so we'll be able to watch it before the podcast and actually talk about it on the podcast. So that's a bonus. Nice. And then the Halo Twitter account was making sure that everyone knew that Halo Infinite was going to be there. So we're going to see some Halo Infinite. And Halo Infinite better bring the hammer, Jeff. It can't bring a trailer with some cinematics.
No.
It's going to bring a trailer with some mind-blowing cinematics that stroke a fucking like nostalgia dick to the moon and then dump right into a 15 to 20 minute gameplay demo that literally blows my fucking mind like a watermelon against a brick wall. It needs to be next level shit. We have seen nothing but that tiny trailer that they showed like a year or two ago. It's been delayed multiple times. We've been hearing about departures and shuffles and everything else. There is so much what ifs about this game. And it is the last Halo, mark my fucking words, that people will give credit for without waiting for it to be released. If they fuck this one up, Halo as a property is worth nothing.
It's over.
Following that, the Master Chief Collection is getting Halo 3, and nobody cares. You know why? Because they fucked the Master Chief Collection for the second time. They had a chance the first.
We checked out.
Second time, every release, the original Halo, massive issues, never got fixed. Halo 2, same issues in a lot of instances, and others, not fixed. Halo 3 coming. If you think that game isn't going to have some major issues that they say we'll eventually get around to, but we can't right now because we're all making a mad dash to try and get Halo Infinite ready for all this shit, ain't going to happen. Halo 3, going to have some major issues. And then everything after that, I think they're doing Halo 4. I can't remember if they are or not. Oh no, it's not Halo 4. Maybe it's ODST. It's a failure. Again, and this was their biggest hype machine that they had leading up to Infinite. They dropped the ball.
Bro, it's hurt. The failures are so big that it's actually starting to be counterproductive to their new release.
Yes, it's anti-hype.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, maybe it's like, hey, we'll give them all these shitty experiences, and then we'll actually give them a good one with the new game.
Setting the bar low so that it's easy to hop over it, and everyone's like, wow, incredible. But yeah, I was so excited for PC Master Chief Collection. They talked a big game, and they'd already done it once and fucked it up, so I was like, okay, they had the roadmap for how not to fuck it up this time. And they created a new map in the process and fucked it up in ways nobody thought they could, like entire audio tracks being useless. So that's new. But we'll see. Hopefully, you know, they really don't have any more hype for Infinite anymore. Infinite's standing on its own now. So on the 23rd, when they show that off, it needs to be a 10 out of 10. Everything needs to come in and come up Halo. And we're going to find out in the not-too-distant future. In relation to that, ex-Bungie executive and composer to Halo, Marty O'Donnell, the man who made the music that everyone has stuck in their head whenever they think Halo, says that the Activision deal, this is now that he's fully separated from Bungie and can say whatever the fuck he wants. The deal that they did with Activision, which he was part of, and he says he takes partial responsibility for, was as bad as they thought it would be. And turned out to be as bad for Bungie as they thought it would be. The reasoning that he gave as to why it ended up happening the way that it did was because their two options were Microsoft and Activision. And Activision offered to take them on without taking control of their IPs. Whereas Microsoft still wanted to have control of the IPs. So they would have been basically a first-party developer specifically for Microsoft. To avoid that, they dumped Microsoft, went to Activision, didn't seem to matter much anyway. Activision got their way in. They weeded out people that were anti-Activision. They fucked on basically everything that Bungie is. Now Bungie is like a third-tier developer scrambling to save Destiny 2. And like everyone thought that when Activision was out of the picture, Destiny 2 was going to be saved. Guess what?
No.
It's not really saved. It's not really any better. And so that didn't happen. And yeah, he still has a bunch of Bungie stock because it never, that was also part of it, is that he was like, maybe we'll get bought out, I'll be able to sell my stock. Nope. Now he's hoping that that still happens now, because he's still sitting on all that Bungie stock. That's a big yikes. But not surprising. I mean, it's Activision. I mean, when they announced a 10-year deal with Activision, and like $500 million for Destiny, I was like, oh, that's something is gonna get very wrong very quick. And it did.
We're talking Star Citizen money now, boys. This
500 yeah, but that was across 10 years.
Yeah.
Star Citizen hasn't started. Well, by the time it's out, it might cross the 10-year mark.
And it'll hit 500 million.
Where are we at now? 5 years? What are we at now?
Oh, it's gonna be longer than that. It's gotta be longer than 5.
Is it? Is it? I don't know. Where are we at? And keep in mind that 500 million included budget for marketing, where they haven't used budget for marketing yet, really, on Star Citizen. Are we on year 8? Let's mark it since they switched, switched engines, because they pressed the reset button, basically. So where were they when they like switched engines entirely?
Let me see here.
Because they basically hit the reset button after already having done a lot of work.
Well, that doesn't really count, though. You know, when you hit a reset.
No, but what I mean is in terms of like how long it's going to take for them to like. Yes, it's been that long with the funding, but like how long has the game as it is now been in development versus the reset? I'm just interested in what the difference is.
I have no idea.
Either way, it's been a long time.
A real long time.
It's been a long time. What do we got next? Some good news, Jeffrey!
Oh!
Horizon Zero Dawn is up for pre-order on Steam and is coming out, I believe, August 13th.
Boom.
I already have it pre-ordered.
I'm sure you do.
It's locked up. And it was
full
funny.
Price?
It is full price, and people were salty about, well, not full price. It's Canadian. I think I paid $50.
Oof. It's a little
so
steep.
It's the original game plus all the DLC that they had, and then whatever additions they made for the PC, like their ultra widescreen support, the higher resolutions, whatever changes they made to the game. A lot of people upset about that. I don't blame them. The game is old. It wouldn't be the first re-release that was basically fucking full price, but I can understand why people would be upset. You can get it secondhand for the PlayStation 4 for like $10 right now. Not that you would be if you would or you would have already bought it on the PS4 at this point if you were going to play it.
I think a good price for that would have been $39.99.
That's what I said. I said $29.99 US, $34.99 Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah. So $40 Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm in, even if I don't feel like I'm going to play all of it, or if I'm just going to like give it a try, it's worth the risk. At damn near full
Oh, it's August 7th is the release date. Sorry, not the 13th.
At damn near full price, it's steep. That's wait for the Christmas deals. It'll go on sale, and you'll be able to buy it for probably that exact price come Christmas time. It doesn't seem to matter much because it immediately became the top seller on Steam. Mm-hmm.
And that's big for a number of reasons. One, it shows Sony what they can get if they're playing their cards right with which releases go to PC. It also shows Guerrilla Games what they can get bringing their games to PC.
But this is a little different because, you know, number 2 just gets announced. There's a lot of hype around it.
Well, Horizon Zero Dawn had a lot of hype around it in general as an exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn, again, right at this point, the 2 best games, in my opinion, of the entire console generation, depending on what genre you like, is either The Last of Us or Horizon Zero Dawn. And everything below that is like orders of magnitude below those 2 titles. At the very least on PlayStation 4, that's the case. But I apply that to damn near every platform that's out there. Horizon Zero Dawn makes Breath of the Wild look like a bitch. The only reason that game won a more Game of the Year nods than Horizon Zero Dawn was because it's Zelda. And that's it. I've played and beat both. Zelda's a collectathon that isn't even a good Zelda game, let alone better than Horizon Zero Dawn. People are gonna see that shit. When it comes to PC, dude, that game is gonna look fucking bananas on PC. It looked bananas on the PlayStation. The only game that looks better than it, honest to God, is Part 2, The Last of Us, that just dropped. That game looks fucking wild. Now, keeping in mind also, Horizon Zero Dawn is a massive open world game in comparison to the close quarters that you get with The Last of Us, so they're afforded a lot more graphical horsepower in close quarters. But nevertheless, I cannot tell people enough, wait if you don't want to pay the full price for sure, but if you have a PC to play this game and you haven't played it yet, and it's a PlayStation exclusive, there are very few games that I can tell you that have come out in this entire console generation that are as good or better than Horizon Zero Dawn. And I still think it's the game of the generation, and it was downplayed because it came out in the same year as Breath of the Wild, and that was it. And it was a new IP. It's a new IP going up against Breath of the Wild. And it's an exclusive. So, you know, now that it's on PC, I think people are gonna get on board, and man, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to sell like fucking hotcakes. It's gonna be nuts. Definitely give it a chance if you haven't already. God of War, fuck a God of War. I played God of War with no HUD on the second hardest difficulty, and beautiful looking game, great voice acting, but as a video game, ain't it? Next up, Sony files a patent to allow game emulation across PS1, PS2, and PS3 via game streaming. So like cloud service stuff, similar to some of the other stuff that we're seeing. That's their thing. So I think we might have talked about the fact that this could be a thing for them, that hardware is not really likely the way that they could do it, but you could look at this avenue, and now they've patented something for that. So we still don't know the capacity in which that could be done. If they still need, like, they're still probably going to need things like licensing from the developers, the publishers that still have the rights to those games, etc., etc., etc. But this would bypass the limitations that they had, like hardware-wise, where they couldn't possibly put in a disc and fucking
just play it.
Away you go, right? So there you go. So that's the thing. So that's exciting news. That would be phenomenal. I mean, if the streaming service is good, which is, we don't know yet. We haven't seen a streaming service of games that's particularly good. I mean, Stadia didn't exactly knock that shit out the park. So, so we'll have to wait and see. We still have to wait on xCloud, which is Microsoft's streaming service of their games. But if they can do it well, and in a lot of cases in like these older games, you're playing like a JRPG and shit, you don't need it to be perfect. It will play just fine. You know, you don't need like 2 millisecond response time to play a Japanese RPG. So, it'll be fun to see how they wheel and deal on that one. Next up, also Sony, investing $250 million into Epic Games, Jeff. Which now brings Epic Games fundraising up to 1.83, if I'm not mistaken, billion in total. So now that Sony has a minority stake in Epic Games, which would also explain why we got that PS5 specific Epic Games engine demo for the PlayStation 5 that we watched a few weeks back. That would explain a lot because they paid them $250 million to be a minority stakeholder in the company.
That'll do it.
Let's see here. Next up after that, we've got Mafia Definitive Edition, which we talked about coming out a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, they are pushing that back because they're having issues with getting work done due to Space Godzilla. That's not new. It's understandable. They're still, I think, hoping to get it a window of this year, but obviously,
it ain't happening.
And making it a little harder to make that happen. Valorant's first Ultra skin, Jeff. Dude, Riot is wasting no time getting it in.
Oh.
First Ultra skin comes out, costs $100 US.
Oh. Oh.
Bro, that is...
What?
That is 125 Canadian for a skin.
No. No. I haven't seen items in a game that expensive since Farming Simulator.
Dude, you mean Train Simulator or whatever the fuck? Because they have
Farming,
a lot
of train, whatever simulators.
You know where I have seen this, Jeff? League of Legends.
$100 skins?
They had, I think it was a Sona skin or a Lux skin that was like $70, $80, or $90 or some shit.
To buy?
I think it was Lux. I think it was Lux.
To buy?
Yeah. It was Lux, and it was like 5 skins in one because it was called Elemental Lux, I think. And so you could like press a button, and she'd change like fucking skins basically in real time. I thought for sure it was like $70 or some shit.
Listen,
however,
I know y'all are trying to make some money here. I know you're trying to monetize this game, but $100 for a skin. Now I'll say, the skin that they got going on, and the stuff that the skin does, is pretty freaking cool to see. It's a pretty fucking cool thing. It's literally as if your moves, they look like a dragon.
Bro, they're going to sell a lot of these $100 skins, bro. They're going to sell a lot of these skins.
The reason why I don't like that is because
they're going to have more.
They're going to keep coming with this.
They're going to have more $100 skins, bro.
Bro, that's so expensive, man, for a skin.
People will pay for it. It will happen. When it comes to people don't want to pay $100 for a game, but if you give them a free game and then you offer them a $100 skin, that's technically optional, they're going to spend that $100.
The only way I would ever consider spending $100 for a skin is if that skin was a limited edition, as in you literally have like 24 hours to buy this skin, and it will never, ever come back again. Not for some random promotion, not for nothing. It is the one time and done time. And even then...
Oh, it's a bundle of skins, apparently.
Then, I don't give...
For $100, Jeff, it's a bundle.
Bro, I don't care if it bundles my balls like my Saks underwear does in a little pouch. At $100 for skins? No. At least scam me like $10 at a time. You know what I mean? Hit me with a tenner here, 10 there, so I don't really notice it. But $100 on a free-to-play game, starting to not sound so free-to-play.
Well,
even though it's free-to-play.
This is the entire mobile market, bro. And I've been playing more mobile games lately to pass time on the treadmill and shit. And dude, it is insane the endless ways that they like get like the mechanics they have in place and shit, it's no wonder people go bankrupt.
Dude, it's gambling. Well, the mobile games, a lot of them have turned it into like a straight up like an addiction. Like it,
dude, it's engineered madness, bro. I will not let my child near a mobile game for as long as they live. They can play some other shit. I can at least like loot boxes and shit are literally child's play in comparison to the psychological fucking mechanics that they've got in mobile games to get you in and to get you paying money on a cycle. I can see it being done. Like, it's just nuts. Like, they have fucking, I bet you they have friggin' psychologists and psychiatrists helping them within their marketing teams to make this shit,
dude,
like crack.
There are people,
straight up,
there are people that engineer slot machines to quite literally, like, they get paid very well to understand the mind, how to trigger people, the jingles they use, the ways that you can win, how fun and engaging it is as you're losing money. It is quite literally a business where they are, you got to think about it. Just like a slot machine, just like a mobile game, there's so many of them that you have to find a way to hook people, to get them addicted and to get them to give you money. And that is literally what mobile games do. I have no problem with them making money. In fact, I encourage it. I think if people are going to enjoy something and you know, you should pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a line that gets crossed so many times of manipulation and just setting people up, and it's actually crazy. It's insane. I'm not saying that's what League of Legends or Valorant is doing, but
no, it's definitely not. That's not what they're doing. No,
not what they're doing. But this is like one of those steps where if they get away with this and they do very well, you're only going to see this happen more and more and more and more and more and more. And it sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Speaking of it sucks and it is what it is, the Atari VCS is launching, Jeff. Pre-orders are up. $279 base model for 1080p with no controller, and a fancier $389 model with 4K that has a Pro-type controller that comes with it. This console comes with 100 Atari games of the finest, with more being put on a custom storefront to be purchased and downloaded later. They list new and classic games, whatever the fuck that means, and it comes with a subscription to AntStream retro streaming service that you can stream 1,000 Atari games on top of that, and it has roughly the power of a Nintendo Switch. So you're spending $279 to $389 for an Atari classic console that you can play Atari games on your HD TV at 1080p or 4K. That also is run by Linux, so you could probably do some hacking on it and make it do some other shit. But it's as powerful as a Switch. They're also marketing it as a thing that maybe third-party developers can also put games on. If it works on a Switch, it could technically run on this. Nobody's going to do that. And so really what you're doing is you're paying nearly $400 for what is the equivalent of the Atari version of, like, the Nintendo Mini.
No, I'm good. I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
You don't even intrigue me for $99.99.
No.
If I'm just being 100.
No.
$400?
Dude, the $389, they're within spitting distance of like what is probably going to be close to the discless version of the PS5.
Yeah, dude. It probably wasn't smart of them to even say it has the power of a Switch, because at that price, I just go, you know what, I'm just going to go buy a Switch.
Dude, I have a rotary powered flashlight that has the power of a Switch. The Switch is not something you want to compare yourself to when it comes to power. It's just not.
Nah.
It's just fucking not.
I'll pass on that one.
Next up, we've got Deadly Premonition 2, which is a Switch game. Getting wildly divisive reviews. as the game, like the game itself, fantastic reviews. It's getting lots of like praise for its writing and everything. Just like the first game was really quite good for it, but the performance is even worse than the original, which is saying something.
Not enough power in that Switch.
Which is saying something, because I gotta be real with you. The first game ran like shit. I watched gameplay of this, dude. It runs at what looks to be about 12 to 15 FPS almost exclusively, and it doesn't look good. It is not a good-looking game.
1996.
It looks old as shit, and it runs awful. Now, apparently, according to Swery, who is retweeting every bad review just because he's a troll and he doesn't give a fuck, because this game's going to sell a lot of copies anyway. It's a cult classic, doesn't matter. He did say that they are, in fact, working now to get the FPS issues fixed, but because it was, at first it came out that there were apparently, they contacted PR and they said, PR said that they had no plans to fix it, which turned out to be bullshit. But then people were like theorizing, did Swery intentionally make this game run like shit? Just to, just because it like adds to the campiness of the game, because they're super campy. And it wouldn't even shock me if that was the case, to be completely fucking honest with you. But the fact that it runs this poor is also free advertising. He's gonna sell this game to anyone who liked the original. It's gonna happen. Brian and I will play it for Shitty Games Done Slow 2021. It's gonna happen. Lots of people are gonna get onto it, because Deadly Premonition, again, despite being a fucking atrocious video game as far as how it runs, is an incredibly well-written character piece and story that I could recommend to anyone if it wasn't for the fact that the game is so fucking hard to play. So if this game is like that, it wouldn't shock me if he did something like that, but it's not the case. They're gonna try and fix it. But I swear to God, dude, it's like 12 fucking FPS, and I was shocked. I've never seen a game run like that since the N64, and even the N64 ran games faster than that. Just brutal.
Bro, I love the N64. The N64 is such a good, fun system.
It is. It is a great. It is a great system.
Look at that. Look at these rows of games right here. Just even the boxes, they make me happy.
It's true.
Like, it just makes me happy. It's a happy system.
It's true.
Like, when you play a bad game on a PlayStation 2, or you play a bad game on a PS3, or any of these things beyond, hell, even the GameCube. The games just suck. It's just not a good time. You play a bad game on the N64, and they're still, like, fun. Like, I don't know if it's all the color palettes and things they used in the games, because they're just so bright and inviting, and, like, they're just, like, gorgeously bad, like, just in a fun way. It reminds me a lot of, my son watches a whole lot of the not the Cartoon Network, like the kids TV or whatever the fuck it is. And there's some really bad shows.
Almost all current kids television is terrible.
It's bad. But there's something about it that you watch and you can't keep your eyes off it.
It's like a dumpster fire, Jeff.
It really is.
You can't look away.
That's what the bad games of N64 were. It was a dumpster fire, but it was one that you just couldn't stop playing, or that you just didn't you didn't hate it enough that you're just disgusted by it. Jeff, that's my little N64 thing.
Jeff, I have a problem.
What's your problem, man?
I was trying to find something on Google the other day, and unfortunately I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was, and I was having a bit of a tired day, and so I typed in something that I didn't mean to type in, and I got horrible search results. And I'm wondering if you can help me clarify what I should have searched for instead. I accidentally searched for Dickstream. What am I looking for? I accidentally put in Dickstream. It was bad. Don't look at Dickstream, but can you help me? I know there's something that's close to it, but not the same thing. Can you help me out?
Were you searching for a Stream Deck?
Damn it! Do you know how many penises I could have avoided seeing?
Oh, man. It's a Stream Deck, Adam. It's by Elgato.
Fuck!
It's by Elgato. And here's the crazy thing. You can get 3 different sizes of the damn thing. There's a mini. There's a regular. There's an XL.
I'll keep it honest. I saw a mini, regular, and XL when I searched Dickstream too, and I wasn't happy about it.
I'd say something else, but Twitch is a weird place. I don't want to get in trouble. I was going to say, what kind of versions were those minis? Because I can guess. Elgato, guys. If you don't get a Stream Deck, y'all got to get one. All right. I'm telling you that right now. Not only that, they got the new Wave microphones. Go check them out. They're sold out everywhere. They're selling out like hotcakes. Literally, it's like a McDonald's hotcakes. Go up there. Hey, can I get some hotcakes? Sorry, we're sold out. Okay, can I get some ice cream? Sorry, the machine's broken. Well, shit.
I gotta be honest with you too, Jeff. If you eat a Wave 1, it's gonna be tastier than a McDonald's hotcake.
Definitely. 100%. Go check them out. They're in the audio game now. USB, plug and go, high quality. You can get the reverb. You can get all the bells and whistles that the Go XLR is doing at a fraction of the price. And dare I say, well, the Go XLR, you don't even get a microphone. It's just the machine. With the Wave, you get it all. You plug it in, you go.
You ride the Wave, Jeff.
You ride the Wave. I'm actually setting my Wave up in the workout room with my laptop. And then that way, when I do my runs in the morning, I can boot on the stream from in there, have that microphone going, and just have a chill and chat time. So, also, we got some new consoles coming out possibly this year. We'll see. Think it's going to happen, but who knows? You're going to need a capture card if you want to capture all your stuff. Elgato's got you covered on that too. I've got an Elgato capture card. Actually, in my PC, I thought I had the 4K.
No, you've got the 1080 one, bro. You don't have the 4K yet in there.
But my 4K is right here, and all I need to do is pop it in. So I didn't even realize. I thought I had already put this in when we built it, but I have the.
No, you didn't have it yet. It had yet to arrive.
Gotcha. So I'm actually going to pop that in, and then I can put that one in the other computer. But yeah, they've got a 4K Pro 60 4K 60 Pro. That's what I meant. Hey,
you know what? More specifically, it's the 4K 60 Pro Mark II, Jeff.
Boom! Hey, you're the technical guy here, all right?
Let me tell you something. Elgato's 4K 60 Pro Mark II. 4K 60, 1440p, 144 hertz. You can also add your own EDID, and if you know what that means, it's basically if you wanted to do like 1440p 120 hertz, like what I do, because you're a streaming god and you know that if you cut 144 in half, you don't get 60 FPS, and so the stream stutters even though your stream can handle it, and everyone's going, why is it stuttering? Motherfucker, you don't know how to do basic math. 144 divided by 2 ain't 60. You know what is? 120. So you put that EDID on there, boom, 1440p, 120. Cut that in half, 720p, 60 streams, HDR. You got it. You can do it. You want to fucking record at the same time? You'd have multiple programs running with their streaming software, or their recording software, I should say, while also feeding through to OBS. You can record 1440p, 60 frames per second, 100 megabit per second video. It's going to look clean and crisp right off the rip. Easy does it, and you don't have to run any kind of weird NDI shit to send it to OBS at the same time. You got to get one.
Hey, you should be doing these damn solo things. Listen, he's the capture card god over here. He knows what he's talking about. So go check him out. Link is in the description below. Shout out to our sponsor. On top of that, we've got NordVPN. Actually, don't type it in. Go into the description. Click on the link. Take you to the NordVPN. If you're listening to this via audio, it's nordvpn.com/OTT. Promo code OTT gets you 70% off on your 3-year term. Money back within 30 days if you don't like it. No questions asked. Up to 6 simultaneous devices. You can bypass all of the region block content, whether that's on YouTube, Twitter. You want to go to a different a version of Netflix to watch their different countries' catalogs so that you can have more shows and more variety, whether it's movies, TV shows, so on.
You want to
so
see
forth.
what Dick Stream shows you on Google in Argentina?
Hey,
you can do that.
You can do that. Also, you can stay safe, stay anonymous, keep your information protected. You can use this on your phone, on your desktop, your laptop, your iPad, on your smart TV, virtually anything. You can route it right into your router. And then you can also use that as one of your connections of 6. And that with that router, it would go out to all of your devices that are connected to that. And then you got 5 more to go.
Big
Sometimes
brain.
you gotta think with portals. Sometimes you got to think with portals. Anyway, 70% off using the promo code OTT. They're a big supporter of the podcast. When you're in the market for a VPN, think NordVPN. Make sure you use that promo code OTT. The more you guys support the sponsor, the longer they sponsor the stream. So go and pick one up. We're in 2020. The world's a crazy place, and there's shit tons of content to watch in so many different places that I don't know why anybody would not have a VPN. We spend the vast majority of our lives on the internet. You can game on these servers. You can stream and game on these servers. You can do anything you would normally do because their servers are fast. It's extremely easy to set up. Literally one click of a button. You're like, oh, I want to be from China today. Click. Oh, I want to be from the United States and I'm Canadian. Click. Oh, I want to be from a different part of the States. Click. Oh, I want to be from Argentina. Click. That's all you need to do. It's really that simple. And it happens immediately. So go check them out.
Patreon.com/LagTV if you want to help support the podcast directly and financially. You get yourself up to that $100 mark over time. Doesn't have to be right up front. We're going to get you your swag bag, which we'll send out when the world is no longer dying.
Swag.
Also, it's the most direct way to support the podcast. So if you want to directly support the podcast financially, and that's what you're looking to do, you can do that. $10 and higher on there is going to also get you access to the high-quality streamed version of the podcast audio on SoundCloud, as well as allow you to ask questions on our technical support or tech support segments that we do each and every week. Post up a post, and you can ask your questions there before the podcast, and then we answer as many of them as we can. But before we get to that part, Jeff, we've got one other segment to blast through with great speed. It's time for
movies and TV.
Foundation TV series adapted from the novels by Isaac Asimov are in production and coming to Apple TV Plus in 2021. That sounds pretty dope. I think there might be a trailer for it, but I haven't seen it yet. I didn't get a chance to take a peek at it. But anything by Isaac is probably going to be good if they find a way to, it's always, the source material can always be fire. But it doesn't mean that it will translate to television or movie well, depending on how it's written and shown. So, we gotta hope for the best on that one. But we got some time before it drops. Next up, apparently there will be no Birds of Prey 2, and I am just shocked, Jeff.
Really? I'm actually, I'm a little shocked, simply because Birds of Prey, I think it made money.
But did it make $1 billion, Jeff? That's the real question.
No, it didn't. Birds of Prey, let me see here. And apparently it did really well. So the budget was about 100 million. It made 201 million. So it basically broke even. I mean, you put in marketing. But apparently, and that's the box office. Apparently, it did pretty well on digital. I'm a little surprised they're not making another one. I'm not surprised, and I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised because, it wasn't a bad movie. I actually watched it. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
It wasn't a bad movie.
I don't remember almost any of it, but it wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad. Was it like? a great film? No.
It
No.
wasn't Jared Leto being the Joker bad. I can tell you that much.
No. Actually, he wasn't even in it.
That's
So,
what I mean. But no,
yeah.
I didn't mean that. I mean, it's not as bad. It wasn't as bad as watching Jared Leto be the Joker is what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought the action was well done. It was better than what I thought it was going to be because I went in there expecting it to be bad. I think the title really fucked the movie a lot when it first came out.
They changed that title, eh?
Yeah, like a lot happened with the film. So in one way, I'm not surprised, but I'm also a little surprised because I think I don't want to say the success, but the fact that it wasn't a horrible movie and people seem to kind of enjoy it, that I thought maybe they would do another one. But I think the main reason why it's not happening is because I think DC is about to do a complete flip around and an overhaul.
They're doing like a reset.
Yeah. I think Margot Robbie is still going to play her no matter what, because I think she's a perfect Harley Quinn. I'm not sure there's an actress I can picture doing it better. But I think they're about to literally hit that reset button and they're going to change a lot of shit. I think Henry Cavill might be coming back from what I heard as Superman. But beyond that, I mean, obviously we have Robert coming in as Batman. We don't know if he's going to be mixed in at any point with a new cinematic universe. Who only knows? But DC, they're a bit of a mess. But at the same time, DC has been having some pretty big successes with their movies too. Like their movies have been making money.
It's hard to, really, if they were in a vacuum where Marvel's run didn't exist, DC wouldn't be considered as big of a failure as they are right now. The problem is that they're being directly compared to Marvel, and Marvel really had very little missteps over a decade of movie releases that were all tied together, all made sense, more as much as you could hope for, and played off each other, and just perfect casting and perfect everything. Like, it was just everything, it was as good as you could hope for. And DC has struggled to find, like, what tone do they want their movies to be? Do they want to be the edgelords? Do they want to, like, hunt down the quasi-comedy of Marvel? Do they want, like, what are they going to do with that? They've had movies like this not do all that well. They've had some casting, blunders. The writing has been hit or miss. It's not been... It's just been inconsistent. Like you said, they had, like, Wonder Woman has obviously done well for them, and they had, like, Batman versus Superman and stuff like that. That obviously they've had some successes, but the successes are far outweighed by either mediocrity or just bad movies. It's not surprising to me that they would be hitting the reset button. Hopefully this is the last reset button they have to hit for a while, because I feel like DC's hit the reset button, like, already a couple times, in, like, more soft ways, but this seems like a more of a hard, honest-to-God reset.
I'm ready to just be done with superhero movies for, like, another 5 years. I'm just like, I'm so superheroed out.
Well, that's what I said after Marvel was done. I was like, I'm good now. You don't need to do next phase right now. Give it some breathing room. Right?
Yeah, I'd almost rather more of Shazam type. Exactly what Jorbach said. Shazam was okay. I'd much rather have more Shazam type movies where it's more of a lighthearted, almost a parody. Although Shazam really isn't a parody, but sort of the feel of it, where it's not as serious. It's just like playful, and the stakes don't feel like the world is gonna crumble in my power. You know what I mean? Like I something a little bit just playful and easy to digest for a while, and then kind of get back, or continue to go in this route that we got with the Joker and now with the new Batman movie. Darker, more serious, more mature, more deep storytelling than this.
I think DC, here's my take on it. I think DC does better not trying to follow Marvel in terms of tying everything together. I think DC does better with character movies that exist almost in silos, and not to try and tie everything so fucking, like, knitted together. Like, yeah, you can have that for sure, but make sure that you're hitting, like, T-ball with that shit. Don't try and, like, make stretches in order to tie characters together. Keep them in their lane. Do character pieces like you did with Joker. Obviously, that's where they're having their most success. And go with that. Don't just copy Marvel's fucking formula because it's obvious that doesn't work for you. You have a different brand. The brand plays differently to the audience.
Kevin Feige, so fuck off. So you just can't plan it out like he can. So just let it die.
Yeah.
Just know your lane.
Ready Player 2 sequel novel set for November publication date, which I'm going to then assume is also going to be another movie.
Could be. Yeah. That movie was fun.
Movie was fun. I think that made a few dollars itself, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Ready Player 2 movie to go along with the book. And that's all we got, Jeff. It's time to move on because you don't have much time.
Tech support.
Every week, like I said just a few minutes ago, you can go over patreon.com/lagtv. If you're $10 and higher, you can write us in a question on a tech support post I put up every week, like this one. It's called Tech Support Week 160. That's the number of weeks we've done this podcast, plus or minus a couple.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of weeks.
Still going.
And still going. You can ask them, and we will answer as many as we can, given the time we have. Mark Furry asks, Adam, does liking other questions help you here pick at all? It can. If there are other people asking questions, but they're liking other people's questions as well, then it lets me know that they're interested in seeing that, and it gives me a barometer for what may be interesting. So if I have less time, I can ask more of those questions. So yeah, why not? So if you guys are doing that, you want to like them, like some people did in this, I suspect it was probably Mark doing it, then that's not the worst idea. For an example, here's one that was like, this comes in from Cryptic Cyanide, said, what is something you enjoyed as a kid but hate as an adult?
Something I enjoyed as a kid but hated.
But hate as an adult. Swimming. I loved swimming as a kid. I fucking hate swimming as an adult. Hate it. I'd rather lay on the beach and roast my ass alive before going into the water. When I worked at the summer camps and I was forced to go in to that pool, 2-3 times a week, I wanted to yeet myself off the top of the fucking building. I hate pools. I'm not a big fan. Like lakes, I don't mind so much, whatever ocean is, but I don't swim. I'll go in to briefly cool off, but I'm not about swimming. But when I was younger, all about it.
Mine's pretty easy. Cartoons. I really don't like cartoons. I never liked them as an adult. I very, 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 rarely have ever watched a single cartoon. We're talking Family Guy. We're talking The Simpsons, Futurama.
Like adult cartoons?
Adult cartoons, like Rick and Morty, all of them. I don't like cartoons. I just don't. I barely even like animated films.
You know what? I will watch cartoons I grew up with as a kid before I watch adult cartoons. I'm not a Family Guy fan. I'm not a fucking American Dad fan or like Archer or any of that. None of that. I'm not about it. But if you ask me to sit down and watch like 90s fucking like X-Men or The Amazing Spider-Man or fucking Biker Mice from Mars or Gargoyles or fucking Doug or shit, I'll watch some fucking original OG before the writer left and the creator died, SpongeBob, before my ass sit down and watch Family Guy. I'm not, you know.
Dragon Ball Z is the exception. That's the only thing that I've really watched. And I mean, you know, that's pretty much it. It's basically a childhood nostalgia that just so happened to still resonate with me as an adult. But other than that, I really truly have never watched a full episode of Family Guy or Futurama or Rick and Morty or any of those. I've watched tons of Simpsons as a kid and I enjoyed it, and I'm sure I would still like laugh, but I'm just not gonna sit there and watch it. I don't like cartoons. This is not my thing.
Alexa asks, living in a small city of 50,000 people with a yearly salary of 75 grand, or a big city like New York with a yearly wage of 200.
Oh, New York.
I'm small. I'll take 75 grand in a small city. My dollar is going to go 150,000 times further than 200 G's in New York. And beyond that, I just wouldn't want to live in New York or Toronto or Montreal. Too many people, most of them assholes. Not a big fan. Air quality is literal dog shit. Too noisy. Can't get away easily. And the postage stamp of a fucking house.
50,000 people is that's a small place.
I mean, you and I would have interacted with about 50,000 people within the city of Halifax for most of our lives. It wouldn't be a far-flung difference. Like,
yeah, but I mean, with that, you're going to have a lot less, like, places to go eat, entertainment, like, just...
Yeah, but with 75 grand, if I want to go, I'll go travel somewhere. Because I'll have the money to do it. You know, if I want to go visit a big city for just a couple of days, get my food in, do whatever, if I want to travel somewhere, 75 grand, go a lot further than 200 G's in New York.
Yeah.
But it's also me, like, I'm into different shit than you are. Like, you would want entertainment, you would want to have, like, you'd want to have more...
I just like feeling connected. I like being in big stuff like that. And you know, even when you live in a place like New York, there are ways to still have privacy and the things that you need without being in New York City, like straight up in the fucking, you know, Manhattan. You know what I mean? There are places in New York that you can go and live a relatively sequestered life to a degree, and then travel out to the city when you want to. And I mean, at $200,000 a year, I mean, I could really make that work. I mean, you could make $100,000 in New York work. I probably wouldn't want to be living on anything less, though.
You're getting to homeless territory.
Yeah, in New York, you probably won't want to live on too much less than that.
Man, I'm Hungry asks, favorite moments from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I don't even know if you watch too much of that at all, but this show is just too good to pick one. Dude, if there's a show that I could watch almost daily on repeat for my whole life, that's probably it. I've seen episodes like 10, 15 times, and I still fucking laugh. Even if I know the joke is coming, I still laugh. The shit's crazy. My favorite moments are somewhere between the greatest hits where Colin makes Ryan break character by saying tapioca, and then another one where he's doing, like, they're making fun of each other's way of segueing into things, and Colin starts with, like, something like way over here, and, like, somehow works his way into a music genre or a band, and I can't remember what it was, but it was such a stretch, and it went on for so long, and Ryan broke character again. It was fucking hilarious. And then the big moment is, and the one that's easy to watch on, relatively easy to watch, although finding the full clip is harder now, is the segment where they had Richard Simmons on doing props, or like human props or whatever.
It's probably one of my favorite ones too.
Yeah. Like that one fucking, that killed me. I mean, like Colin just, everything Colin was doing, he just, what he did. Colin, the thing about Colin is no fear.
I like Colin. Colin's the shorter guy, right? That yell talks all the time.
Colin is the bald Canadian guy. So there's Ryan and Colin. Ryan's the really tall dude that wears the funky shoes.
Yeah.
That was on the Drew Carey show. And Colin is like his partner in crime.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Colin, he always kind of yells, like he yell talks.
Yeah, he gets loud.
Yeah.
He's the, you know.
He's probably the funniest guy in the show, like consistently. Yeah. I mean, Wayne Brady's amazing. But even his shticks kind of, they become very, they're the same. Like,
yes,
he's funny, but like his shtick is very, very, very same. I mean, his comedy is very similar to mine. Yeah, you know, he knows his lane and he sticks to it and he does it very well. But I find Colin was like, he could make me laugh the most without even really trying to make me laugh. Like, I picked up a lot of his small nuances that he did, and like the little things that even people wouldn't really laugh at, but I noticed what he was doing and it would be funny. He's really, really good. He's
Yeah, he's smart. He's my favorite too. Him and Ryan together are like a deadly fucking combo. Like they play off each other. I mean, they were on the UK version of Whose Line before they brought it to the States. Like Ryan and Colin came, and Ryan was like co-producer or whatever with Drew Carey and whatnot. And yeah, they worked together before, and it shows. And they worked together for a long time, and they play off each other fucking perfectly. Like when they do like the film noir shit where they like can like step towards the camera and they're like talking to the camera, and like every time they do, it's like changing the scene behind them, and the other person has to just fucking roll. They're so fucking good. Or the sound effects one where they have like two people from the audience doing the sound effects, one for Colin, one for Ryan, and they have to like just fucking roll with it. Some of that is some of the funniest shit too that I've ever heard and seen. That show's great. If you've never seen Whose Line, they're still doing it now, but the like original like 10 fucking whatever seasons of Whose Line is some of the funniest shit ever put on film. Period.
Dude, I think they would do fantastic with a Las Vegas residency, and they brought the original cast and they did it, you know, they did 2 shows a night for a period of time. I think they would sell out. It would be a fucking damn good time, and I would definitely go to a show in Vegas if you could watch. Doesn't need to be on TV, none of that. You just sort of go there and you get a new experience every time you go, and it's all improv. That would just be amazing. Surprised it's not. I'm surprised they haven't been in Vegas. It just seems like a primed Vegas show. It just feels like a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But like Wayne Brady already has like a career and shit, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I mean, you pay him enough, he's going to do it, right?
Nikki asks, what's one of your favorite travels or travel moments? Where are you most excited to head to once the world is finally safe for tourism again?
Vegas. Vegas is my favorite place to go. I have the most fun there. It has more to do with just being there with friends, and it's great not only to like go there and have a good time and indulge, but also it's a fantastic place to go and people watch. There's so much ridiculous stuff that goes on there, and the shows and the food are top notch. It's just a good place to escape. It really truly is my favorite place to visit. I mean, I love me going to down south. If I'm going on a vacation with just me and my wife, going to Dominican or Cuba or somewhere tropical, I prefer over Vegas. But just to go have a good time, Vegas every time. And that is where I'll be going when Space AIDS eventually eases up.
Unfortunately for the US
and Las Vegas in particular,
that might take some time, bro.
It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a long while.
For me, well, I'm wildly different. Like in terms of my favorite place to go, it's my family home because I want to get away. Like why I chose the small town is I want to get away from people. I rarely want to go into people. It takes me about 5 seconds to be tired of being in the presence of somebody, of the average person, and that sounds like a really fucking like ass. That's you know, that's an assholey thing to say, but I think people are starting to understand my train of thought now that we're seeing what the general person is like right now in the midst of this pandemic. That is the exact reason why for most of my life I have hated going downtown or like going to bars, clubs, anywhere like that. Fucking the average person, fuck them. That's why my friend circle is tiny. I have like 3 really extraordinarily good friends in like Jeff, Hun, and like Brian, and like a very short list outside of that. Like I mingle with very limited people, and I'm very selective with it because as much of an asshole thing as to say, fucking the average person is just fuck. So I just want to get away from all that. So the family home is thankfully as far fucking from the civilization you could hope for. It's quiet, it's peaceful, I can do yard work, I can do fucking whatever I want to do and just get away from the internet. That's the best place on earth.
Yep.
As far as where, like, when this is all done, I'm excited to go to the Philippines. Em and I were gonna go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Next year, we're like, because she goes home every 2 years, but we can't now because Space Godzilla. But I'm excited to go. That's going to be a crazy experience. You know, we're going to go and we're going to be there for probably, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with the podcast and stuff, but I'm going to be there for, I'm going to be gone for like a month. My ass is going to be gone for some time.
Hey, I'm going to hold it down. So, hey, we're going to bring in Panic for good old time. Panic, you coming on in. It's you and me, baby.
Gonna have to hold it down for a bit because my ass is gone. Because you don't, one does not simply fly to the Philippines for 5 days and 6 nights.
Hell no, bro. Go and enjoy yourself.
And we're gonna be stopping in Japan for like 3 or 4 days before.
Ooh, when are you doing this?
Well, it was gonna be next year, but it will be the year after now because of the situation. It'll be in the springtime sometime because we want to get there when it's like, we don't want to, it's gonna be one of the hottest times of the year in the Philippines, but it's only so much you can fucking do about that. But it will be cheapest flights whenever we can go, and that's usually in that time of the year. And there's a lot of like, there's apparently also like some celebration type shit that happens around that time. So we're hoping, she wants me to be there for the whole thing. So I'll be excited for that. You know, lots of new food to try. We're gonna be going to like the islands where you're just dropped off on a fucking like beautiful island for a couple of nights and you're just on a fucking island. You're by yourself on a fucking island, basically. It's crazy. So it's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna hate the plane ride, but everything else about it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Oh,
so that's what I'm looking forward to. And of course, meet Em's family. Gonna meet her mom and dad, and hopefully like her brother and sister as well. And that'll be fun. And yeah, food and islands and hopefully not getting dengue fever or malaria. That's pretty much the only things you can worry about.
And hopefully you don't have a shower with her dad.
Like ideally, yes. We joked about that. I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it. I'll have a shower with your old man if it comes down to it. It's a 90-Day Fiance fucking reference for those who didn't see that beautiful episode. That's one of the greatest episodes of all time.
Dude, I laughed out loud so many times during that episode. Oh man, that shit is gold.
Yeah, that shit was fucking incredible. All right, we got time for one more, and I had one picked out here somewhere. What's your... G-Bros asked, hey guys, what's your favorite memory of each other, and what is your worst shared experience? All right, so my favorite is still to this day, the day that when Jeff was still living on the street, and his parents kept the garbage in the basement until it was time to go out, and there was a lot of fucking, like, cooked rice that was left over that was in a black bag, that had been down there too long. It was the summertime. It was hot. The bag broke. And there was, and I'm not fucking with you, the entire colony of black flies in the province was in this one room at the same time. It changed the color of the air in the room. That's how many black flies there were. And so, yeah, and we were alone at the time, and we had to deal with it to get the shit out of here. And so, fucking... We went in, masked up. We didn't even go through the door. We left the door closed because they went upstairs. We were fucked. So we left the door closed. We crawled through the basement window to get in. And we had, like, t-shirts wrapped around our face because we had cans of Raid that Jeff found. Yeah. In the downstairs basement, there was a bathroom at the bottom of the stairs, and it had, like, a menagerie of cleaning products just thrown in there, no organization, just all over the place. And we just pulled Raid cans and tied shirts around her face, and we put on the Matrix fucking music, the fucking elevator scene music. Put that on, or like the elevator room scene, and had that blasted on the stereo, and crawled through the window, and we were like Matrix movements. Because we were like, fucking kids and we were stupid as fuck. And just sprayed for like 20 minutes. And you couldn't smell anything but Raid. And it was just fucking madness. And if you light a match in that room, we'd be dead. We left, fucking pulled the bags out through the window, got it outside. And that floor was carpeted with fucking black flies. Just carpeted. And that's still the greatest fucking moment that I can think of. It was wild. I can see it vividly in my head. It's crazy the fucking detail I still have in my head for that shit. It was wild. So that's that one. And mine for shared experience, fuck Bangor, Maine. That's all I'm gonna say on that one.
I'll go with that as well for the worst experience with Adam, dude. That was fucking awful. It was so bad that it was like a good time.
It was so
like,
bad
you know
that
I mean?
like looking back on it, you laugh, but at the time, fuck.
Man, it was brutal.
It was bad.
That was brutal. Try and pick a different best time. Man. Oh man. Oh, that you picked such a good one because that shit was just gold.
I have multiple.
Dude,
Here's another one. Here's another one. We were playing Dragon Ball GT Final Bout in your bedroom.
Upstairs.
Upstairs. And we had a 15-minute long Kai Blast battle where you had to trigger finger X because of both, and it was the beams going back and forth, and it went for 15 minutes, and I felt like I had a stroke on the other side of it because you'd like tense your arm up on your hip to like fucking like I can't even do that shit anymore. My hand doesn't do that anymore.
It does this. Look.
Yeah, you can't hear shit, but I know what you're doing. But I can't even do that fast anymore. Can you get it? Still can't hear it. Your mic is getting just enough good enough gate. Still can't.
What the hell? How do you not hear that?
I think it's just not popping the noise gate on
All right, well then fuck
on
it.
Discord. Anyway, that was a good one. That one was like 15-minute battle. That was a good one. Another one. I got another one for you.
Okay.
I'm staying the night at Jeff's.
You're making me feel like a bad friend now because I'm not.
It's all right. I have very selective memory. All right, so I'm staying the night at Jeff's. It's in the middle of the summertime. Jeff just got a new bed. It's a captain's bed.
Ethan.
It's a captain's bed. It had drawers under, like drawers, and then it was like up like a shelf. It wasn't like a full-on it wasn't like it was like a bunk bed, but on the back of it, there was a massive hollow that it created underneath, and it was up against the wall. And for whatever reason, I wanted to sleep in there. And so at night, I get in, and it's like up against the wall, so I'm like just enough room for my skinny ass to like get down the wall. I've got to like fucking like Mission Impossible my shit down into the little hole underneath the bed. Middle of the night, I wake up. I tried to sleep it off. I had to piss so fucking bad. I couldn't do it. But I knew that when I stood up and I was like Tom Cruising my shit on the wall, that I was gonna wake Jeff up. And I didn't want to wake him up. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, like 3 o'clock in the morning. But I couldn't hold it. I was gonna piss myself. So I get up and I'm trying to go so slow. I like 5 minutes just trying to stand up. And I unfortunately, like his sheets were on the side of the bed. I couldn't. And I woke him up and I startled him. And he punched me in the chest. He immediately turned over and just whap right in the chest. And I was like, bro, it's just me. I'm taking a piss. So that was another good one. I also remember we found a box of chocolate bars that were from like junior high.
I was turning white. Black. It was brown chocolate. Legit. You know those $2 chocolate bars that you go to school and you sell them? Well, I used to get they used to have a contest at our junior high, and whoever could sell the most boxes for the charity or whatever they were raising money for, you would get a big fucking huge Hershey like brick fucking
It
bar.
was 8 pounds.
Literally 8. I'm sure you
It
guys
was like, no joke on camera. It was this big.
Yes.
And it was that thick.
Super thick, bro. It was super thick. So anyway, every year I would like win this shit because I would just sell bars like a crazy, like door to door, selling bars. I'd go to, my mom would take the boxes to her work and then she'd like sell them to her customers and stuff like it. I had this operation going. So anyway, I had won this competition, and for whatever reason, I had lost a box of these small bars, and I had to pay out of pocket for them because I didn't have the money and I had no idea where they were, but they were hiding in my closet and I had no fucking clue. So anyway, I had just paid out, the $20 or whatever it was for the box of bars as if I were to buy them, because you have to like keep track of all the bars that you're selling and shit. And these bars have been sitting buried in a closet for years, like just straight up years. And we found these fucking chocolate bars, and we were like, let's try these chocolate out. And dude, we opened up the chocolate bars, and the chocolate bars were supposed to be brown. They were not milk chocolate. They were not cream, whatever, the cookies and cream. The bars were turning white. It was like chocolate mold. It had a weird smell to it.
And we ate like 6 of those fucking bars. We ate like 6. I didn't eat for like 2 days.
Oh, man.
We sat down and ate like 6 of these fucking chocolate bars.
Hey, man. Surprised we didn't get sick.
Damn it, they were delicious.
Oh, man. I'm shitting you guys not, bro. The chocolate bars were white. They had like white, like not the whole thing was straight white, but like you could see that parts of it was like moldy. Like it was like bad chocolate. But I was like, chocolate doesn't go bad. Just eat it. Oh man.
So that was another one, yeah. This is another one.
I remember. I mean, it probably wasn't that fun for you, but I remember having the paintball gun. and I was up in my room with Trav, and I had just gotten a new gun, and I put the CO2 cartridge in it and shit. Adam was in my backyard. And I was shooting the trees and stuff. And then I point the gun at Adam. And Adam's like, no, what are you doing? I'm like, run. And you're like, you're not. I said, Adam, you better fucking run. So he starts beelining it into the woods, like fucking running in the woods. And I'm sitting there with the gun and I'm aiming and I shoot one paintball. And I swear to God, it was a forest. It went through every fucking tree. Shoo, shoo, shoo. And I mean, Adam was sprinting, going through every tree and fucking nailed him right in the back of the kneecap, right in the crevice. And like a fucking deer that got shot, Adam was wounded, bro. He was running. He said, It was like I fucking killed him. Fucking hit him in the perfect spot.
Dude, I had shorts on and I'm sprinting through the woods like I'm getting chased. And no joke, it was thick woods. How this paintball made it through 30 to one paintball.
One.
How it made it through all that shit. And then it hit me in the back. So the soft, like behind your knee, the soft fucking part behind your knee. And it was dead middle. It wasn't like it like strayed off the side. It was dead fucking middle, and it half broke my skin, so I was bleeding from a paintball shot, and I was like, what the fuck was in this paintball?
I always remember that. That was fun.
Shit,
I mean,
was
not so much fun for you, but it was fun for me.
Fucking wild, bro. How it made it through all those trees is beyond me. But that was another good one.
That was another good one, dude. There's so many good ones. Fuck. I mean,
I'll end on this because you got to go because you got a meeting thing. I'll add one more good one. Diz's dad only comes home once every like fucking. Sometimes it was once every 6 months. Sometimes we didn't see that motherfucker for like 2 years. He comes home, and it's the first time Jeff has ever met Diz's dad because since Jeff got to the street, Diz's dad hadn't been home. And so we had told Jeff about, like, we used to have bonfires, and, like, you know, Diz's mom would, like, you know, be, like, fucking pop, and kind of the candy and chips were flowing, like, wine, just crazy, like, water, it was crazy. And we'd have, like, the radio on, playing, like, you know, fucking Eminem and Backstreet Boys and fucking Macarena, because that was the thing at the time. It was incredible. It hadn't happened in a long time, because Diz's dad wasn't home. And so Diz's dad gets home, and Jeff's heard all these things about these fires or whatever the fuck, and he goes up, he's meeting Diz's dad, and he asks, he's like, Andrew, we gotta have this fire. I've been hearing so much about this fire. And Andrew stops, turns around. Andrew is 100% Polish.
He's straight Polish.
And if you don't,
so like, I mean, just think about like what you would envision,
like hard ass Polish guy.
Like very like
he might have killed some people at some point.
Like Russian Polish. Like, you know what I mean? Like
he might have actually killed some people.
I think he might have, actually.
So that's the kind of guy we're talking about. He stops. He's walking towards the house. Jeff's already halfway up his ass. He's still taking luggage out the back of the car. He stops. He turns around. He said, "I'm gonna light a fire up your ass," and that was it. And he turned around and went back in the house, closed the door, and then days go by. And Travis finally, Diz convinces him, it's time. We're doing a fire. Like, okay. So night falls. Across the street from Diz's house is Brian's house. People who watch my stream, Shitty Games Done Slow, that Brian. They live across the street from each other since they were kids. Their moms were good friends. Diz's mom is over on the front steps of Brian's house, across the street, having a smoke with Brian's mom. They're chatting, doing the usual whatever the fuck. Andrew, for whatever reason, is left to handle, like, the 7 children that are behind the house.
Bad life choice.
So it's like they're sitting on the doorstep. There's a little bit of a street, the front of the house. We're at the back of the house. They can't see us. Diz's dad was in the sauce since about probably 9 o'clock in the morning. He was fucking...
He's hammered.
3 sheets to the... And you gotta understand, it takes a substantial amount of alcohol, hard alcohol, to get him drunk.
I mean, he's a sailor. Literally.
He's literally this is a dude who jumped off a container ship and swam to shore to Canada and then became one of the top guys for container shipping companies. He was the owner of like top 3 of the country. This is the kind of man we're talking about. This is a made man. He was hammered.
He's fucked.
He comes out, we're in the backyard, and he comes out the basement door and up the stairs. He's got 2 things going on. One, in one hand, is a 2-liter jug of some liquid in a pop bottle, and in the other hand, he's got a lighter. We're like, okay. Well, we don't know what the fuck's in the jug. He walks over to the fire pit, which was like an old oil can that had been cut out or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we had gathered, you know, all the whatever. And normally, you know, small stuff, some paper or whatever, fire starter shit. Andrew comes over, stumbles his ass across the backyard. And it took him some time to get from one side of the yard to the other. And it was only about 20 feet. Gets over to the fire. Everyone, he didn't say a word. Everyone's dead silent watching him because he was so hammered. As it turns out, that 2-liter jug is full of gasoline. And he says, so he takes the jug and he starts dumping it all over the logs and the sticks and the whatever that's in this barrel. And then he turns around slowly and says, "Stand back." And we were all like, all right. And so we all stand back, and he comes back with us, takes him another fucking while to walk across the yard. We're about 10 feet, 15 feet from this barrel. He puts down the lighter, tapes the lighter down to keep the flame going, and throws it like it was a fucking Molotov at the fucking barrel. And I shit you not, the shit was like a fucking pyre. A pyre of fucking fire. Like,
it went over the house.
It went over the house.
Fucking Travis's mom and Brian's mom were like, what the fuck? Oh, fucking house is on fire. There's flames coming up from the back of the house. Like, what the fuck? Oh, shit.
It sounded like a fucking bomb went off. And you were just, whoa.
Yeah, bomb did go off.
And fire above the house, and they see this pyre appear from the back of Diz's house, and Teresa's just screaming, "Andrew!" And just fucking runs over. Neighbors call the fire department. Yep. But Andrew's like, the fire department shows up. Andrew is pissed drunk. We're all kids sitting around this, like, now toned down 10-foot tall fire. Fire department shows up, says he's gotta put it out. He was having an argument about how he soaked the trees with water ahead of time so that they wouldn't catch fire.
A fucking guy, dude. Good times.
Anyway, they just put the fire out. Andrew lit another one like 10 minutes after they fucking left. And then later in that night, to cap this story off, And to end this on an incredible note, we've been listening to music, drinking pot, eating chips, the usual shit. Andrew's still hammered because he hasn't stopped drinking. At some point, Andrew stands up out of his lawn chair that he's laying in and walks over towards the fire pit, stumbles a little bit to the left, about 5 feet left of the fucking fire pit, and takes his dick out and takes a piss in front of like 7 kids.
I remember that shit.
And that piss went on for like a minute and a half straight. It was a fucking long piss.
Oh, man.
Now, he didn't expose himself or some shit.
No,
but it was just the thought that, like, he takes his dick out, and it was like a minute and a half long piss. It was like 90 seconds. And it wasn't like, I have like a fucking, like, problem getting the dick going. This was a fucking, like, power piss. This was you broke the seal, and there's, like, some back pressure built up, and it was like a minute and a half. Shit was crazy. And then he passed out on the lawn, and we continued the night, and that was the show.
It's good times.
It's a good time.
It's good times.
It's good times.
Real good times.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our childhood was fucking weird. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a Technical Alpha podcast.
It was fun. It was a childhood.
It was fun. It's definitely a childhood. But ladies and gentlemen, that's another Technical Alpha podcast in the books. It's time for Jeff to go and have a meeting. It's time for me to go and have some dinner. We will see you guys next Thursday for their Technical Alpha podcast. Patreon.com/LikeTV if you want to directly support this bad boy. Go on over to YouTube, like it, give us a comment if you can, even if you're on the RSS feeds, because we would appreciate it. It goes a long way. Thank you for rating us on iTunes and otherwise if you have the opportunity to do so. Keep spreading the word about the podcast if you think other people want to hear about old Polish drunk men taking pisses in front of small children. And until we see you next week, thank you once again for stopping by. We will see you guys then. And until we do, peace!